Welcome to the BFP Shamrock Shakedown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. We're going iLate model iRacing tonight. Excited to be a part of the first of the Triple Crown series. And I, as Spencer Morse, am a big fan of Black Flag Podcast and an even bigger fan of the guy that I get to call the race tonight with, the one, the only for now. There's another one coming, but it's Charlie Sanborn. I.
What an entrance. I appreciate that, Spencer. Thanks for tagging along with us here on our inaugural Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. It's a pleasure to have you. You are the 2020 Wapanan of the Year for the Black Flag Podcast, so it's only fitting that we use your skills here and expertise to give us a nice call for our inaugural race here on the Black Flag Podcast. iLate Model Stock Series.
I won a championship too the year before, but nobody ever talks about that. It's all about the weapon of the year. It's the only trophy I got in my living room, and I'm dang proud of it. I'm really excited to be here at Hickory, or I'm actually in my living room in Naples, but watching a race at Hickory tonight after we had such a great weekend of racing there with the American Canadian Tour and the Pro All-Star Series. So it's really fitting that these guys can tackle it once again as part of the BFP iLate Model Racing Series.
Yeah, it's we have quite the series that we put together here. Big shout out to Scott Dinnan, who's actually in the race right now in the number 95 car. He's repping the Black Flag Podcast Pontiac Grand Prix paint scheme, and from there we've got quite the schedule. Like I said, we're going to start it off here at Hickory. I believe we're going to make stops at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. All sorts of cool stuff with Southern National. We're going to have some big Triple Crown races as well, too, where the 3 races within our 11 races are going to have their own point system, and we're going to give away a trophy here for the Triple Crown winner at the end of this 11-week deal here. So big, exciting stuff here. We do have practice going on right now, and we got Ryan Kuhn at the top of the boards, which is fitting as he is the current reigning and I believe defending Pro All-Star Series North champion.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Ryan Kuhn really came onto the scene huge last year. He hadn't even won a super late model race prior to the start of the season last year on anywhere other than iRacing. He's always been pretty dominant at that, but took the year by storm and had a great year. And it looks like the RKM setup shop number 59 is going to be pretty strong here tonight. Not counting out, though, you do have Devin T. Landry, who is a great iRacer. Jake Matheson, also up there, top of the board. He's in third. And then Casey Beatty. So I knew nothing about this Casey Beatty before my In the Pits radio show maybe 2 hours ago. Apparently, never seen Hickory Motor Speedway before except for on iRacing. Goes down in an American Canadian Tour car and runs top 10 in both races in real life. And I think that's someone that's got a lot of iRacing laps. You're going to want to keep an eye on that number 39.
Yeah, it's certainly a good group of people that we have here. It seems as though we have a lot from the Northeast, but we have plenty from around the country as well too. The reason I know that is we've got names popping up here in the North Carolina region of the United States here. Plenty of people down south as well too. I know Donnie York is a Canadian too, so we've got an international race going on here at Hickory, which is pretty cool to watch. As we have a 64 car server set up here for Hickory. And it filled this week in about 2 minutes. So it truly is first come, first serve, as we put up on the Facebook page here earlier today. But we've only got a handful of minutes left here in practice, as again, Ryan Kuhn's going to top the board, followed by Devin Landry and Jake Matheson going to round out our top 3. And for reference, folks, again, 64 cars in the server, 63 have taken time. Of those 63 cars, they are within less than a second of each other, about 6/10 separate first through 63rd right now. So format tonight's going to be as follows. Top 20 are going to be locked in from single car to two-lap qualifying. From there, we're going to go heat racing, folks. This is a northern event, so we like heat races as well too. So whoever's left after the top 20 are locked in. We're going to lock in 4 from our heat races, and then we're going to have a last chance qualifier where we're going to lock in 2 more to round out our 30-car field.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting. The heat races, obviously, are some of the most exciting racing. It's get in there or you've only got 2 spots in that last chance qualifier. And if I know anything about racing, it's that you don't want to be in that LCQ because there's going to be some good cars that are going to have to transfer. When you've got this many good cars in one server, all it takes is one mistake to have a what could have been a really good day to go real bad.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even for the poor souls, you're gonna have to go through all of practice, all of time trials, all of the heat races, and LCQ. They're still gonna get about 50 laps of racing in tonight. So that was kind of the whole point of this. It's a big server. That was part of our problem last week with crashing the computer and the stream itself. We had about 100 people join in on the stream as well last week too. So currently we're hovering in the 40s, upwards to 50 right now already. We're still in practice. So thank you to each and every one of you for checking in here on Facebook and supported the Black Flag podcast, of course. And again, just excited to kick off this Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, this is going to be a part of a Triple Crown series. So this race, the first race that we're actually getting to live stream, is a very important one because, as you know, if you don't do well in the first race of a Triple Crown, you've got to go win the next two to be able to win it all, like you did at Oxford Plains Speedway 250 weekend last year.
Well, yeah, thank you for that. We certainly made it hard for ourselves as the Friday portion. We hit everything but the lottery, and I made a big mess of the car, and I took full responsibility for that. Ruined a couple people's days on accident, but when you start from the bottom, you can only go upwards, right? And we certainly did that, rounding out the weekend with 2 wins in a row, Saturday and Sunday, and put ourselves in a tough spot where even the after doing that, it was still decided on a tiebreaker. So a lot of these guys here, they understand the format. We have a lot of top-notch race car drivers here from the likes of the Pro All-Star Series, the American Canadian Tour, support divisions from around the entire country, and some just, professional. I like to call them virgin iRacers. That they live on this stuff and they're just really damn good at it. So, that's something they got to keep an eye out for too. And it's a very diverse group of talent that we're going to have here. And for those that got into the server and were lucky enough to be on the first come first serve list here, they're now eligible for the Triple Crown Championship, where the second two are going to be held at Oxford Plains Speedway, and the last one going to be rounded out at Five Flag Speedway, just like the 250 and the Derby. We're going to have our own little small versions of that, and get a nice trophy made up for the guy who tops the rest of the field.
What's kind of cool about this, Charlie, is I know me and you both missed out on going to Hickory this past weekend, but these are actually kind of our Triple Crown events that we're always going to be watching no matter what, too. We all want to go to the Easter Bunny because that kicks off the year. You've got the Oxford 250, which nobody's going to miss. You're going to be crazy. And then every year we try to end it with going to Five Flags. So I think that that 3-race schedule is just absolutely perfect. And all of these racers got a lot of laps around those places because it's places we want to go and race.
Well, it's almost like we knew what we were doing, huh, Spencer? With that schedule, we wanted to obviously encapsulate those 3 races. Definitely show them off for what they are. They're 3 beautiful facilities with a lot of history behind them. And even though it might be a measly iRacing series that we have here, we're streaming on a Facebook page. It's still something that we want to pay homage to, and it's a great way to kick off our season too. I mean, we're going to have Northeast racing here coming up pretty soon. We're only a couple of weeks away here from the Maine Mariners hockey game that the Black Flag podcast, me and the boys, Bradley and Bobby, are going to be hosting that night at the Cross Insurance Arena in Portland, Maine, as the Maine Mariners take on the Tulsa Oilers for the first time in franchise history. So it's going to be a good time for that. And then just a couple weeks after that, it's Oxford Plains Speedway opening day.
Yeah, looks like practice is getting ready to wind down here. Practice looks to be, I think it's pretty much all over. Can I still get tickets for that Maine Mariners game by any chance?
You absolutely can. Thank you for asking. The way you're going to do that is you're going to head on over to our Facebook page yet again. Look up the FIVO link, and it's very specific to us here at the Black Flag Podcast. Make sure if you're buying tickets to that Maine Mariners game, you're using that link in our Facebook posts. Very important that you're using that one. We are going to get a portion of the proceeds from those ticket sales. And right now, we're going to roll off single car qualifying here at the Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. As on my screen anyway, I can see Jake Matheson running out through turns 3 and 4 here. And it's not going to show up on the stream here, unfortunately, until we get our top 20 locked in. But right now, we're going to have quite a bit of cars taking time here.
Yeah, I can see a couple cars on mine. I can see Scott Dinnan. He looks to be really hugging that apron low. And geez, as the results are starting to come in, two of the people we talked about fast already on their first lap. Jake Matheson, a 14.106 top of the board. Casey Beatty, a 14.156 second, and Chase Rogers, 14.167 for third.
Right now, like you said, top of the board, Jake Matheson with a 14.106. But we're going to get down into the bubble area here. Again, top 20 are going to get locked in here on single car qualifying time. Everybody's going to run 2 laps here to lock themselves in, hopefully, for the main event here tonight. Anybody from 21st to 63rd in the server here is going to go heat racing, where we're going to take top 4 from 2 different heat races. And then from there, we're going to go down to another 2 in the last chance qualifier. And again, if you're going to have to make it all the way to the LCQ, Bobby Timmons himself knows it best, as he's the hooligan champion himself. But it's that makes for a very long day at the racetrack.
It's not what you plan on doing. You plan on showing up, being fast, like Ryan Kuhn, now new leader in the clubhouse. Ryan Kuhn, 14.098, your new fast man in Hickory, North Carolina. You show up wanting to be Ryan Kuhn fast. The last thing you want is to have to go to these heat races, and then even more so, you don't want to have to go to that last chance race.
No, you absolutely do not. Like I said, it makes for a very long day at the racetrack when you have to do that. And if you look over to our stream right now, too, we're hovering around 50 people watching. So thanking each and every one of you for heading on over to our Facebook page here and being a part of this event. It's something that a lot of people have been harassing us about for a while now, and trying to put on one of these events through iRacing. And it seems as though we're finally getting our feet wet in the water here. As again, we're just waiting on some drivers to take time here, as we have about 10 seconds left in qualifying. Looks as though just about everybody, except for maybe a handful of drivers, took time in qualifying. Unfortunately, if you do not take time in qualifying, you are going to get the boot straight to heat races. So looks as though our bubble driver, if I can count here, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Rick Thompson Jr. Is going to be our bubble driver, as Brian Conover is our last one to make it in on time. So from there, right now, everybody's getting loaded up in their cars, getting ready for heat races. For anybody who didn't make it in the top 20 here, Scott Dinnan is going to be our admin, just kind of explaining the rules to the drivers right now for anybody who didn't lock in on time. Basically letting them know top 4 going to the main event here for our heat races. Anybody who doesn't make it is going to go straight to the LCQ, and then you got an even lesser chance getting in the top 2 there.
So just on those 20 drivers that did lock in, you've got Ryan Kuhn, top of the line, Jake Matheson second, Devin T. Landry, Lucas Leone, Casey Beatty, Regan Parent, Chase Rogers, Ryan Borges, Aiden Murray, Davey Rineout, Tyler Jordan, Matt Smith, Matt Perry, Dominic Carrot, Stephen Piero, Tyler Conley, Trevor Kraus, Adam Jocelyn, Matthew Vanoit, and Brian Conover have all advanced in their way into the feature, and we've got the heat racing coming up soon.
Yeah, heat race number 1 on the front grid right now, and it looks as though we're going to have, like you said here, the 70 of Rick Thompson Jr. On the pole here. To his outside, it's going to be, I believe, Joey Israelson. Going to be on the outside of him. Row number 1 here is we're going to fire off heat race number 1 here at Hickory. And again, we're taking top 4 to the main event. So pretty stacked heat races we're going to have here, about 20 plus cars in each. It's going to be a dogfight getting up into the top 5 and get into the last transfer spot of 4th. So you're going to see those guys in the bubble area in 3rd and 4th there. That's going to be our drivers in the number 49 of, I believe that's going to be Jake Grout, and then the 60 is Sean Bodrow. It's actually a 28 on the screen here, so that's going to screw me up all night.
28 of Preston DeMillo is actually there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. 28 of Preston DeMello is going to be on the 4th spot here for the heat races. So, you're going to want to watch those bubble drivers there for sure, trying to protect that those transfer spots, as they're going to have about 18 people behind them all over their back bumper trying to get into this main event.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Ryan Battle in the 61 that's going to be looking to try to sneak his way up in there. You've got Mason Dunn rolling off in the number 55, starting 6th. Trevor Graffam in the 09 is 7th. Sean Kimball in the 54 is going to roll off 8th. The 62 of Kelly Edwards is going to start 9th. And you've got Dennis O'Brien in the 41 starting 10th. 11th, you've got Joe Campbell. In the 95, starting 12th, you've got Scott Dinnan. Tyler King, past modified champion in the 31, is going to roll off 13th. And we've got, what do we got? We going right racing?
Looks
Green
as
flag.
though the green flag is underway here. As top two are going to break away here just a little bit. The 70 of Rick Thompson Jr. Going to wrap it around the bottom side here. Joey Israelson's going to be hung out to dry on the top side. Keep an eye out, though, for the 49 as he stuffs it to the bottom, trying to get up into the top two.
49 right on the back bumper of Rick Thompson Jr. right now. Thompson looked to get a little loose. The 49 might get a little loose with the 36 shoved right up under the back of him. The front three are breaking away as they're wrecking behind him.
Top three are breaking away here. And again, this is going to be admin yellows only. So if they can get it cleared up behind them, the yellow will not come out as looks as though they're going to keep it green here. Again, top three going to break away here. So now the eyes are going to be all over the fourth spot as the leader goes around.
Rick Thompson Jr. into the fence. Unbelievably bad luck there for Rick Thompson Jr. as looks like the racetrack is clear and we're still firing around this place.
No yellow out at all as right now back to the leaderboard is going to be the three of Joey Israelson trying to run down the number 49 of Jake Grout, followed by Mason Dunn and Sean Kimball for the last transfer spot in the fourth spot, as that is going to be the battle to watch there between the number, I believe, 54 and 62, trying to hunt it down for the transfer spot.
Sean Kimball and Kelly Edwards getting after it for that fourth spot. That is the most important spot on the racetrack right now to try to make that happen and get your way in to the main event.
Sean Kimball trying to just protect in front of that 54 right now, or in front of the six. Yeah, you get it. The hard part for us right now is I'm looking at a leaderboard that's got numbers that are different than the cars on the racetrack. As a couple more go around on the backstretch there, looks as though yellow will not go out at all.
Matt Franson went around right in front of the leaders, Jack Grout, and Joey Israelson's going to try to take that opportunity and work to the outside and try to move his way into the lead.
It looks as though we're going to have a new race leader with Joey Israelson trying to high side hustle the leader here as the 49 now trying to protect the lead as the top two fighting over where they're going to start here in the Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. But again, the eyes to watch here are going to be on that 54 car in the bubble spot, trying to protect over the 62 machine as that's the last transfer spot, man. That's either going to make it a nice and easy day and you're locked into the show, or you're going to go all the way to the LCQ and you got a long fight ahead to stay up into the top two.
We're in for a treat right now as Jake Grout and Joey Israelson bouncing door to door. Grout up the racetrack. Oh my, went from a qualified spot to now in serious trouble here. Joey Israelson's going to take away the lead. And I was just about to say, you don't want to get too aggressive here. You're locked in. Don't mess yourself up.
Yeah, try to save yourself from yourself, if you will. Again, if you're in a transfer spot, just ride. Get to the end. See those black and white squares. Right now, you have that 49 again of Jake Grout, who was leading this race just a moment ago. Now on his heels, trying to protect it from a transfer spot, is the 62 now of Kelly Edwards is all over his back bumper, trying to get up into the top four.
This has been an absolutely exciting heat race. And the thing is, there's a lap traffic up ahead. They're moving. They're shaking. Jack Grout's in with a lap car. They make contact. Grout up the racetrack. The one car's in the wall. Around goes the 62 of Kelly Edwards. We've got a mess.
Yeah, it looks as though we've got a traffic jam here up off of Ford. It looks as though we're going to bring out our first yellow of the evening. Or is that it? Oh, that's it. That's the end of the race. So top four moving on is going to be Joey Israelson, Mason Dunn, Sean Kimball, and Jack Grout. As we had one heck of a battle there going for the last transfer spot in heat race number one. And now we're going to have quite a few cars moving on to the LCQ. But next up, we have heat race number two.
Yeah, with that first heat, Ryan Battle is the first guy that's going home or going to the last chance race. So he'll have a great opportunity to move on in that next round. But yeah, we've got heat racing number two coming up, and we've got Chase Grennan in the number 42 starting on the pole. Chase Van Houten, the Chase and Chase show up in the front. The 9 car is going to roll off second. Sean Bordeaux in the 60 is going to roll from the third spot, where Bradley Stefane in the 89 will roll off fourth. the hell of a good hood. David Oliver, number 21, will roll off from the 5th position, while you have Don York in the 53 to his outside. Trevor Ward, the Rebel Racer from Oxford Plains Speedway, will roll off next in the 16, and Sean Miner in the 98 alongside of him. The 32 of Joshua Gardner and Joshua Parsons will make up the next row, with Tyler Learman in the 22 and Dan Murphy Jr. in the 48. Ethan Walker in the number 19, the 6 of Daniel Craig, Justin Galoo in the 43, the 15 cars Jason Dioro, 57's Robbie Douglas, 35 cars Cody Billings. Thomas Capiano is our Fenceline Films broadcaster. He's not in the show.
Yeah, we have Tom the Modified guy here in studio with us for BFP Sports 1, if you will. He's our camera guy. He had to actually join in the race to make this all possible so that we can stream it to Facebook here. So if you haven't already, head on over to Fenceline Films on YouTube and check out his Trading Paints page as well, too, where he's made the official iRacing BFP paint schemes here that you'll see a couple drivers donning here between Jake Matheson and Scott Dinnan. But right now, lights are out on the pace car. We're rolling down through turns 3 and 4, and we're about to go green, Spencer.
Chase Grennan and Chase Van Houten. They're going to get ready to bring the field to green. The pace car is off, and the green flag is in the air. Chase and Chase Show trying to go for the same place down into turn 1.
Side by side down through turns 1 and 2. We got one squirrely up off of the corner here. We have a stack up into the wall here as we got cars bouncing all over the place.
Chase Grennan is taken off with the lead, but there was a big old mess on that start in heat number 2. Multiple cars got in trouble, and they're slow on the backstretch.
And one thing I want to bring to the attention too, we got 60 people up in the stream right now watching. So thank you to each and every one of you for joining us here for the BFP Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway, as we're going to show you some in-car footage here as well too, as the drivers here are trying to wheel around the small 3rd-mile track in North Carolina.
Chase Grennan is running away with the lead right now, but a big mover and shaker in that accident, Sean Bordeaux in the 60, right there in that 2nd spot. The hell of a good hood, number 21, David Oliver's in 3rd, Bradley Stefane's in 4th. Trevor Ward is the lonely man in the 16, just outside of the bubble right now.
And again, folks, we're taking the top 4 from each heat race to transfer directly into the main event. If not, they're going to the LCQ. Right now, top 3, again, Chase Grennan, Sean Boudreau, David Oliver, and Bradley Stefane. Oliver, one certainly big name here in the Northeast, as he is the hood driver of the number 21. He is a Beech Ridge Motor Speedway multi-time champion and main state champion for the NASCAR ranks as well, too. So we've got a lot of diverse talent, as we said here, throughout the entire race that we have. And top 4 starting to break away here just a little bit, as Trevor Ward looking to get up into the show.
Yeah, Trevor Ward's actually having a little bit of trouble with Joshua Gardner. Joshua Gardner has now moved to the inside of Trevor Ward, and they're door handle to door handle as they work outside of turn number 4. Oh, Joshua Gardner in the fence. Big wreck in turn 4.
Big wreck indeed, as now the top 4 are going to get shaken up just a little bit here, as we now have top 4 trying to break away here yet again. Trevor Ward still trying to get up into the show here, as we have that bubble position now in the 4th to 5th spot, trying to make the BFP Shamrock Showdown 150 here, as we're going to have some drivers with their hands full here with the laps winding down.
Yeah, absolutely. One of those drivers that definitely has his hands full is that number 16 of Trevor Ward. He is backsliding. He was running in that 5th position. He's already lost that to Tyler Learman in the number 22, and he's under attack by Justin Galoo in the 43. Trevor Ward is up the track. He's on the 2nd groove, right up against the fence, and Galoo is glued to the bottom, hitting the apron a little bit and going to take that spot away from Trevor Ward.
And Tyler Lehrman certainly going to be one to watch here. Not only is he pretty talented in the iRacing ranks, but he has a pretty, you get it, blue and green Mad Bomber that he races throughout the stars.
Ethan Walker and Trevor Ward make contact. Around goes Trevor Ward, and collected is Daniel Kane in the number 6. Big incident for some of your early bubble guys, and as now they're going a lap down to the leader Chase Grennan, Sean Bordeaux, Dave Oliver, and Bradley Stefane.
Seems as though the top four are certainly starting to break away now, as they have about a 2-second lead over fourth place Tyler, or fifth place Tyler Lerman, as they're taking the white flag this time by. Looks as though Lerman's going to be going to the LCQ here momentarily.
And it's going to be a quick turnaround. The white flag is in the air. Chase Grennan's going to take, checkered flag's in the air. Chase Grennan's going to take the win. Sean Bordeaux second. David Oliver third. Bradley Stefane, the top four. They're transferring. And Tyler Learman is going to have an outside starting position for the last chance qualifier coming your way right now.
So again, folks, this is going to be our last chance qualifier. Everybody who didn't make it into the top 20 through qualifying, that didn't make it in through their respective heat races, now has one more shot to try and make it to the Shamrock Showdown 150, as we're going to take 2 drivers from the LCQ.
Yeah, this is a stacked field for only 2 drivers. So right now, Ryan Battle and Tyler Learman, they have the spot. They're starting on the front row. Tyler King, the past modified champion, super late model winner, he's going to roll off third. Justin Glue in the 43 is going to roll off fourth. Alexander Ettman in the 81 is going to roll off fifth. Ethan Walker, who was just in that late race scuffle, is going to roll off from the 6th position. Dennis O'Brien and Sean Miner in the row behind him. Preston DeMello in the 28 is going to roll off next with Robbie Douglas to his outside. Glenn Giles in the number 12, the beautiful Jeremy Nadeau throwback, is going to roll off next with Don York to his outside. Kelly Edwards in the 62 is next with Trevor Ward to his outside. Rick Thompson Jr., Joshua Parsons, Trevor Graffam, Chase Van Houten, Joe Campbell, Daniel Kane, Matt Franson, Arthur Jordan, Scott Dinnan, Cody Billings, Angel that name, Joshua Gardner, Tyler Griffith, Jason Dioro, Thomas Jones, Dan Murphy Jr., Daniel Palin, and Tom the Modified Guy still not racing in the 69.
Nice. Hell of a number, though, for Tom, as he's, again, he's going to be our camera guy here for BFP Sports 1. Again, folks, we have a 30-car LCQ. This is typically a feature event in most places. We're only going to take 2 of them to lock them back into the Shamrock Showdown 150 here. As lights are out on the pace car, they're going to be going down the backstretch here 2 by 2, and we're only going to take 2 by the end of this one. So everybody reach up, pull those belts tight one more time, as we're going to go LCQ racing here at Hickory Motor Speedway.
Green flag is in the air, and Ryan Battle is going to take the early advantage going into 1, and they're stacking them up back in the field.
Big wreck, middle of the pack here, up off of turn number 2 here, as we got cars all over the place. 1 up in the air. That's going to be a big hit for the 4-sail car, as again, things seem to settle down now up onto the front stretch here, as again, folks, we're only going to take the top 2.
Ryan Battle has jumped way out to the early lead in that 61 car, trying to put as much distance between himself and the rest of the field as possible. You do not want to be anywhere near what's going on back there in the pack. Tyler Learman in the 31. Oh, my God, where'd he go? Tyler King's now moved up into the 2nd spot in the 31.
Again, folks, top 2 advancing to the main event. Ryan Battle, Tyler King are going to try and walk away with this one, as Tyler Learman now in trying to get up into that bubble spot. He is fading quickly with about a 6/10 gap between him and Tyler King right now to get up into the main event. So we got action all over the racetrack right now, and that's going to happen on a tight little bull ring like Hickory Motor Speedway.
Absolutely. There's nowhere to hide on this racetrack at all whatsoever. If you're off the pace just even a little bit, you become big time in the way. Speaking of in the way, there's cars up the racetrack in front of the leader. I am scared just watching this. The 14 car absolutely in the way of your top 2. The only 2 that advance. Ryan Battle now has Tyler King challenging him on his back bumper.
Battle for the lead up front right now. And again, we were talking about that earlier. If you're already in the show, you want to be careful about trying to get too crafty with your racing there. As we had a big one there going by the leaders.
Big move. Tyler King absolutely broadside slide jobs it right up in front of Ryan Battle. Battle says, not so fast. He's going to battle back with that number 61 and get hooked right to that number 31's back bumper.
61-31, still duking it out for the race lead right now. Again, they're locked in the show, but here comes Tyler Learman trying to bust up that little duo that's going on for the transfer spot, as he is only about 0.7 of a second back from those top two, but do not count out Preston DeMello or Ethan Walker either, as they're trying to hunt our leaders down and make it into the show.
Absolutely. It's such a battle between the front two right now, but the spots that really count is that second position and third on back. All these guys, this is their last chance opportunity to make it in to the big BFP dance, the Shamrock Showdown 150.
And you'll see the camera here try to focus back to the leaders as, again, top two are breaking away. Yet again, the focus position is that second spot with Tyler Lerman trying to chase down our leaders. He is fading just a little bit, though, as the laps wind down here, as we're about 5 minutes into this last chance qualifier race, and we're only going to have about 25 laps to figure out who's going to make it.
Preston DeMello moves to the inside now of Tyler Learman. The way that his car cuts the bottom is just absolutely phenomenal. Looks like potentially Tyler Learman has a little bit of right front damage on his automobile, and that might be just what Preston DeMello needed, as now he starts to open the gap up over Learman for that third place position.
It's interesting you bring up the fender damage on the Lerman machine of the 22 because, folks, again, those that are watching that are not participating right now, this is what's called a fixed setup race. So every race car on the track right now has the identical setup that they are not allowed to change or make any changes to the setup at all in any way whatsoever. So it really does come down to the driver's abilities and trying to take care of that race car. And with a little bit of damage like that, it certainly does put you at a disadvantage compared to everybody else on the racetrack.
Absolutely it does. And as I'm looking at the chart here, we've got 11 cars that are still on the lead lap. A lot of guys suffered some early trouble, but looking at the guys that are your big movers, Preston DeMello, he started 9th on the field. He's already up into that third position. He's got to make up some serious ground, though. And he's going to make up about a second on Tyler King to challenge for that second spot. Also, leader wrecked. Ryan Battle in the 61 just got sent up into the fence, dealing with a lap traffic. Not what you want to see, but maybe it is, because now all of a sudden Preston DeMello is in the show as of right now.
Do you see that, Spencer? Do you see what I see? It's the drama llama out in full effect. LCQ drama as the leader just gets wrecked now as Tyler King and Preston DeMello are now our new transfer spot nominees. As again, Tyler Lerman just trying to hustle in that third spot, break up into the top two as he's been there the whole race.
It really looks like a 3-car battle right now, unless there's a funeral next door at the cemetery, because unless there's a caution, the top 3 are separated by just 1.5 seconds. The rest, with 3 laps to go, it's Glenn Giles, Scott Thompson Jr., Scott Dinnan, and Angel Jaruchki, or whatever that name is, that are on the outside looking in and too far back to make a comeback.
And folks, look at what we see here. We have a battle for the lead shaping up as the 31 is falling back to the front bumper of Preston DeMello in the 28, as DeMello now trying to wrap the bottom of the corner, get up underneath our leader and try and pull off the LCQ victory. But they want to be careful here as the laps are winding down. They're both already in the show.
No need to push it here, but they touch. Tyler King up the racetrack, Preston DeMello to the lead. Tyler King runs through him. Tyler King runs into the back of Preston DeMello. I have never.
DeMello with the aggression there, and certainly gets tagged back by Tyler King now as King and Lerman finally his hard work pays off as he is in a transfer spot. He gets squeezed. And,
I don't even know what is happening. Is this thing over yet or what? I am so confused. I don't know what happened. You had Preston DeMello and Tyler Learman are in the show. Tyler King absolutely drove through the leader at the end. Preston DeMello had a heck of a drive, and I think Tyler wasn't happy with the way that he got past there. Let's look at it again here on replay.
So you see the 31 of King there just tags the back of DeMello there. Again, both were already in the show, so it seems a little foolish to be fighting over some things there that you're both going to make the show. And Lerman now, last chance, desperation, gets into the left rear of Tyler King and gets into the show with Preston DeMello. What an LCQ.
And And what I'm saying here is, and I like Tyler King a lot. We've raced against each other for a long time, but when you see somebody move the leader like King did, I believe at that point it's gloves off. Tyler Learman did what he had to do. He's got the win. He made it into the show, and that's all that matters.
Man, Tyler King again, just the aggression there on DeMello, and really the unsung hero of that LCQ is Tyler Lerman, who he was fighting that bubble spot all race long, and finally just right place, right time. That's what good race car drivers do, is they put themselves in the position where if something like that does happen, they're going to be the guy that's you're talking about, and Lerman just wall riding there, getting around Tyler King, and then it was just a drag race up off of 4 between DeMello and Lerman, and seems as though we got 2 drivers now going to the Shamrock Showdown 150 here at Hickory.
And it looks like we're getting ready to roll off now with something. Am I confused by that? Are we getting ready to go green?
This is the 150, pal.
Oh my God, we're getting ready for the Shamrock Showdown 150.
We're getting ready for the showdown itself, and I think we're getting the camera caught up here, as now we're going to go 2x2. 30 cars set the field here for the inaugural Black Flag Podcast Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. On the pole, you're going to have Ryan Kuhn, the RKM Motorsports number 72, followed by Jake Matheson in the 52, donning the BFP paint scheme. Green flag is out, and we are racing.
I was so busy watching the excitement of that LCQ, I wasn't even ready to go racing. And wow, what a deal that was. Can any of those guys make their way back up through the field, or is this going to be the Ryan Kuhn and Jake Matheson show?
Well, you got 2 racers there that are not only good on the real stuff with their Pro All-Star Series Super Late models, and Ryan Kuhn also dabbling in the American Canadian Tour, but they're also 2 true iRacers as well too that definitely dominate the iRacing leagues here, and we don't count out some of the other guys there, as we got one on the outside here. I believe that's the 3 of Joey Israelson trying to make a move.
Absolutely. The battle that I was watching was Devin T. Landry and Jake Matheson. They were really getting after it. Landry on the top side, Jake Matheson on the low side. Looks like we got caution on the speedway here.
Yeah, first yellow is going to be out here for the night on the feature event here, as we got a couple getting tangled up here on the racetrack, and I have the audio of. I was gonna say, I have the audio of some of the drivers here in the server, and a lot of drivers unhappy right now with some early aggression.
That's what you're going to have here in iRacing. Unfortunately, everybody knows you can't win the race on the first lap, but everybody still wants to try. And as the 76 car was trying to make his way down the racetrack, he actually tangled with the number 38 car. I believe that Chase Rogers in the 38.
That's a good question. Chase Rogers.
So that's a big issue. Obviously, there is 2 quick repairs, so you can go to the pits, get your repairs, and come back out on the racetrack. But with the 150 lap main event, you have got to be really careful on how you use those, because if you're in the back after the pits, you might need more of those.
And I think we're going to get the camera caught back up here to our race leaders, who are going to be doubling up here under yellow again on the pole right now. You're going to have the 72 of Ryan Kuhn, who is again our defending and reigning Pro All-Star Series champion, who had a heck of a year in 2022, and he's going to try and start his 2023 off with a BFP win as well too. To his outside is going to be Devin Landry in the 3 car on the screen there. Maybe is it the 87? I can't tell. And then you got Jake Matheson again relegated back to the 2nd row here after originally starting outside pole. So keep an eye out for a lot of these drivers here, as we got 30 cars starting the field right now. And that being said, the format of what we have right now, these drivers do have 1 extra set of tires, so they can use a little bit of strategy here within the 150 laps that we have.
That is definitely something that you're going to want to keep in mind. Tires do wear out here on the virtual Hickory just as bad as they do in real life. It looks like the pace cars lights have gone out, and we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing here in a little less than a third of a mile.
Two by two, they're going to roll down the backstretch here. Door handle to door handle. Ryan Kuhn and Devin Landry going to be our new front row. Keep an eye out, though, for Jake Matheson and Casey Vietti in the second row there as the pace car ducks down. We're going to hit the restart box. Green flag is out, and we are racing.
Big jump by Ryan Kuhn as he's all by himself going down there into turn one. Devin Landry is going to fall back into that second position, and Jake Matheson's kind of sorted it out as they are 2 by 2 all the way behind him.
Look at Reagan Perrin in that pink and blue, number 17, slicing and dicing up through the field. He's going to try and get around another couple drivers here, get up into the top 5 as we got a nice, got another yellow on the racetrack, unfortunately.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be a big one, and this might be the eye pacing part of the segment here. When you've got a lot of cars, you're going to have a lot of incidents. Let's see what happens here. Oh, big wreck. Yeah, you can see that further back in the field on this replay. Looks like the 97 car makes a little bit of contact with the 27, and around goes the 97, around goes the 27, and if you were behind it, you almost were in it.
Yeah, it's again, folks. This is going to be a 150 lap race, so we're gonna need some patience out of these drivers here. Again, we don't want to be wrecking for last year on lap number 3. So hopefully these drivers get to settle down here a little bit, click some laps off, and put on a show.
Absolutely, that's the goal here. Something that I believe here, Charlie, is yellow flag laps do count. Am I correct?
That I don't believe they do.
Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about then. A couple of guys are already down a lap early. Stephen Piero, Adam Jocelyn, Matthew Perry, and Chase Grennan are all down laps right now early on in this running. That's your 30th, 29th, 28th, and 27th place cars. There is, I assume, lucky dogs and waiver rounds, so you can get a lap back, but it's not the way you want to start off your Shamrock Showdown 150.
No, you definitely don't want to put yourself in that position early on in the race. And again, we got 30 cars trying to go around this place at 150 laps. So we have quite the shakeup that we need to kind of get figured out here and make sure that these drivers put on a show. Again, over on Facebook, we're right around the 60 viewership mark. So thank you to everybody watching there. And we're going to try and go green here one more time going down the backstretch.
Okay. And here we are. Ryan Kuhn going to take off with that advantage again. Devin Landry just behind him on that right rear, trying to keep the momentum up. Jake Matheson, Casey Beatty, they're your top 4, and they're all single file, while there is mayhem back in the field. There's a one around, big wrecking, all kinds of stuff. Davey Reinouts in it. Oh, man, that's a lot of carnage on the front stretch, right there where Josh Williams would park.
Yeah, yeah. That is certainly something that Josh Williams would do, and unfortunately, hopefully, I don't know that we can necessarily suspend any of the drivers in this, but we'll see what happens here. Again, folks, just trying to get this shaken out here. It looks like we have a lot of aggression here early on, trying to slice and dice their way up through the field. Yellow flags do count here. We have confirmed that, so we want to get these guys rolling and racing.
The first few laps of this thing, obviously, it was going to get messy. All of these guys going for the prestigious BFP Triple Crown in the iLate Model Series. But once you get through all of these fast repairs, eventually guys are going to be disconnecting from the server. You're going to weed out some of the guys that are causing these wrecks. They're going to be down to their last fast repair, and we're going to click off a lot of green flag laps here once we get going.
Yeah, and for those, again, that are not aware, we were talking about every driver has one extra set of tires here. So that is going to put some strategy into this as drivers are going to try to manipulate the wear of their tires throughout this race and maybe bank a set of tires or maybe pit a little bit early and try and gain some track position on the field throughout the middle stages of the race. But we also have implicated 2 quick repairs, which basically means you get a free race card twice throughout the event. So if they keep driving this way, a lot of those guys are going to be using those quick repairs early on. And if they keep junking them the way that they have been, like you said, Spencer, they're going to be out of the server pretty quick anyway. And that's kind of a self-policing issue. So again, just bear with us here through the beginning laps here as we're going to try and get the field re-racked as Ryan Kuhn and Devin Landry are going to be our front row yet again.
The one thing that I can say, Charlie, is the cleanup crews at Hickory are a lot quicker than the cleanup crews at Real Hickory. So luckily, we don't have a 50-minute break in the middle of this, and we're going to be back at you real quick with some green flag racing. In fact, it looks like the lights are now off on the iRacing pace car. So just less than a third of a mile till we're back green flag racing.
And yeah, I heard stories at Hickory this past weekend where it's never a good sign when the tow truck is being used to jumpstart the other tow truck before the evening starts. So here at the iRacing version of things, we have a quick cleanup team here, and Ryan Kuhn's going to fire off here pretty quick on the bottom and get a nice little advantage over Devin Landry.
Ryan Kuhn has got that advantage. Devin Landry falls back into second, and Jake Matheson and Casey Beatty working hard on each other for that third place spot. Looks like we're clean and green all the way around for that lap, and I think you're going to see a lot more of that to come.
Looks as though we finally clicked off a clean lap here in the BFP Shamrock Showdown 150, as now things are starting to settle out here. Top, probably 3 or so are starting to squirt away just a little bit, as Lucas Leone in the 56 machine, is back in the 5th spot, where he's another driver through our local ranks, as that he drives one of those truck deals, if you will, a mash truck.
Oh, big wreck on the backstretch here. All kinds of carnage. It's going to catch some of your leaders. Your leader, Ryan Kuhn, is around. Heavy damage to the 59. Get forward again. Unbelievable. Bad luck for your leader, and that means Devin Landry in the number 87, who also has damage, is going to move to the lead. What is going on here, Charlie Sanborn?
No, Spencer, that's a great question. It seems to always be the guy running last that either creates the caution or bails into the wreck about 6 to 9 business days after it actually happens. So no different here on iRacing, where again you got a little bit different feel to the race car, but seems as though we're gonna have a lot of junked race cars by the end of this one.
Yeah, copy that. Where's that new free race car button that you told me about? Because everybody's going to push it right now.
Yeah, that'd be cool if it was a real thing, but unfortunately, it's not a real life item that we have. But again, you're going to get 2 quick repairs here as a driver. Maybe we'll have to change that if they keep driving this way. Yeah, we got cars on top of each other on the backstretch there, as it looks as though somebody running one of the Dale schemes is on top of another race car.
Yeah, there was, it looks like that all started with the 54 car, Sean Kimball, and I believe it was the 27 car, maybe. Let's look at it again. Oh, hey, we're going back racing, guys. Green flag is out, and I don't know how that happened, but Jake Matheson is your new leader with Casey Beatty right on his tail.
And big shakeup here. Ryan Kuhn, your former leader of the race, is stuck on Pick Road here. Probably getting towed back to the pit area, getting a new car, and going to fire back out and try and get some laps back. But right now, Jake Matheson, Casey Beatty, and Jake Grout are going to be our top 3, with Ryan Borges and Dominic Currit. One of the rookies in the American Canadian Tour is going to be mired back in the 5th spot right now, rounding out our top 5.
It is still so early, but you can see that 11 car of Dominic Currit. He's going to pick up a spot from Ryan Borges, and he's moving forward. He's charging. He might be a rookie on the American Canadian Tour, but I can tell you this ain't his first day on iRacing.
No, and that's the thing, is that iRacing has been used as such a tool lately, and a lot of drivers that either might not have the experience in real life, or if they're trying to maybe get ready for a racetrack, iRacing is an incredible a tool, like I said, to be able to use. And I myself have used it, when Oxford wasn't really my home track for quite some time, but if we knew that we were going to Oxford, I hopped on and did a couple laps around Oxford just to, if anything, it helps you get your bearings of the racetrack. It helps you with your sights and sounds and kind of just lifting points and things like that, so that once you are in the car, it helps you. It really does.
And it's helping Dominic Currit right now. That 11 car has moved up into the 3rd position, while Jake Matheson and Casey Beatty are all over each other at the front of this field. I think Dominic Currit's just laid back and wait while that 11 car sings a beautiful song in 3rd.
And again, folks, we're having extra set of tires designated for each and every single driver here. So tire wear is going to come into effect here, especially later on into the run. We have a 150 lap race here around this 3rd mile, Hickory Motor Speedway, and it is old, it is worn out, it's got a lot of bumps and grooves to it. So as the race wears on, we're going to see tire wear come into effect here, and people start playing games with pit stops.
Somebody that I've got to talk about right now is your 5th place runner. That's Preston DeMillo, the 28 car. Remember him from the last chance race? He's already moved up into the 5th position. How does that happen? Apparently, it's being really good at missing some wrecks.
Well, I mean, we talked about it early on. If you're one of the poor souls that has to go through not only qualifying, but heat races and the LCQ, and you make it into the race, if you finish on the lead lap, you've done more laps than anybody. And Preston DeMello certainly doing it the hard way, going through the LCQ. But with that comes a little bit of added experience that maybe the guys who locked in on qualifying don't have. And he knows what the track is going to do later on in a run. And Preston DeMello with an impressive run coming from the LCQ win all the way up into the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, you've also got Bradley Stefane there right behind him in the 89. He started 28th on the field. He's already up to 6th. And then the other last chance qualifier that's made the show, Tyler Learman, right there in the 7th position, as it looks like things are starting to heat up at the front, Charlie.
We have a battle shaping up here for the lead, as it looks as though the yellow flag is going to be out for a big stack up on the backstretch here. But we were going to have a good showdown there between Jake Mathis and Casey Bietti, as laps now starting to click off, as we had a good little green flag run there. And again, looking back on Facebook here, we're still hovering around 50 to 60 people watching this for some reason. I'll never understand why anybody wants to be a part of this, but we love each and every one of you. Thank you for watching along here. As the Shamrock Showdown here, it seems to be a success so far.
Absolutely. We're looking at Tom, the modified guy here is, looks like Jake Matheson's coming down pit road here now. The 52 car, the Black Flag Podcast automobile, going to come down and get some service, and that is going to give the lead to Casey Beatty in that number 39 with Dominic Currit to the outside on the restart.
And it might look a little suspicious with the BFP car running up front, but I can assure you folks there is no home cooking going on here. That actually is a scheme released just about 2 hours ago at 7 o'clock for the general public to use. So head on over to Fenceline Films on YouTube to check out Tom the Modified Guy's videos, but he's also got one heck of a Trade and Paints page as well too, where he does a lot of replicas of tour modifieds around the area here. And he spent a lot of time the last night putting that BFP paint scheme together, and it looks as though we got a couple drivers using it.
Absolutely. Super cool to see that black flagged paint scheme out there in that 52. Just a beautiful automobile. We've still got lights on the pace car. I want to talk about that last wreck just for a second. Probably not going to get the opportunity to see a replay, as I'm sure we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing here shortly. But it looked like Chase Rogers and in the number 38 and the number 27 of Matthew Perry made a little bit of contact there, and then absolutely all heck broke loose. Chase Rogers in that 38 had
Chase Grennan.
Chase Grennan in the 38? Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, yeah, they're contact for sure.
Here they are, right here.
As the 38 here is, I believe, is going to get tagged and turned around here in front of a good chunk of people.
Yeah, there it is, that contact there. The 38 goes into the fence. The 27 across the middle of the racetrack collects the 5 car of it collects the 5 car and a bunch of others. Truly disastrous for those guys battling the back of the field.
Yeah, and it looks as though the 27 of Robbie Gordon Douglas was involved in that as well too. Another American-Canadian Tour driver who has kind of a pick and choose schedule, but he's known for that red and blue number 27 machine that he does pretty all right with from time to time. But looks as though Admin has extended the yellow here just a little bit, but we're now going to get 2x2 down through turns 3 and 4, and I believe the lights are out on the pace car, Spencer.
Things you love to see. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Casey Beatty and Dominic Currit are going to drive down into turn 1. Beatty's got the spot for now, and here comes Preston DeMello in the number 28, showing his nose to Dominic Currit. Currit now to the inside lane, Beatty to the top. They're battling as they come off of turn 4.
What a story from Preston DeMello here so far in the inaugural BFP iLate Model Stock Car Tour race. As he not only didn't lock it in on time, he didn't make it through the heat, but he did make it through the last chance qualifier. As now it seems as though cautions are breeding more cautions here down through turns 3 and 4.
Late car into that wreck. Oh my, talk about ARCA brakes. I don't know who that white car is, but all the ARCA brakes on that one. Big mess here on the bottom and all kinds of cars involved. And boom, big impact at the end of that.
Yeah, what lap are we on? Can we tell here? We're rounding out upwards of 50 laps here. We're on lap 48 right now, so about 100 to go. So far, did have a couple good green flag runs there, but right now the story of the evening is Preston DeMello in that 28 machine. He's done it the hard way, but now he's certainly a top contender for the race win.
Looks like the 22 car here makes a little bit of contact with Dale Earnhardt in the 3 and slides up the racetrack in front of the 47. And he goes down to the apron, but there's just cars wrecking everywhere. Talk about Robbie Gordon Douglas in that 27. Just cannot catch a break. It feels like he's been involved in a little bit of everything today, not necessarily of his doing.
Yeah, so that it's either so again, folks, we're this is going to be some things we're going to have to iron out here. 27 might also be Matthew Venot. I don't know because or Matthew Perry, excuse me, not from Friends, but somebody else. And anyway, we got a big stack up there, a lot of junked race cars, but again, only 2 quick repairs for these drivers. So I'm sure that that's going to be a self-policing issue, as a lot of these drivers are going to be running through those pretty quickly, and we'll get down to the cream of the crop here with about 100 laps to go.
Yeah, it's a weird thing here. Some of the numbers that we say are different than the actual numbers that are on the car. All of these guys have trading paints. So a lot of the basic schemes come across as the number that we can see on our end. Some of the more elaborate ones go with a different number. But it looks like we're lights out on the pace car here as they lead the cars down the backstretch.
Yeah, we're going to go 2 by 2 here down through turns 3 and 4. We got the 39 of Casey Beatty and the 11 of Dominic Currit. Green flag is out, and it looks like the 39 with a bit of a jump on the inside is going to clear him down through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Casey Beatty with a great restart over Dominic Currit. They are all stacked up throughout the field, but Casey Beatty's sailing clean and clear at the front.
Keep an eye out on that 52 Black Flag Podcast Pontiac Grand Prix of Jake Matheson. He was our race leader just a little bit ago. Ducked it down to pit road for probably some tires, and he is on the move back up into the top 5.
Wasting no time coming back through the front. A lot of cars have failed to attrition here. Only 14 cars on the lead lap, but Jake Matheson is making quick work of them as he's already working on Joey Israelson for that 3rd spot.
Israelson and the Dale Earnhardt Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet throwback machine down through turns 1 and 2, trying to protect the bottom side, but Matheson all over his back bumper, trying to break up into the top 3 here as he looks to the bottom side of the 3 car.
Jake Matheson, door to door with Joey Israelson, racing hard off of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Joey Israelson still got the spot, but he drives in a little high that time. Give the spot to Matheson. Israelson will fall back into 4th. He's trying the crossover, going into 1, though. He's underneath him. Not going to work. Jake Matheson up a spot. Joey Israelson's now about to fall into the clutches of Preston DeMello.
Matheson, another one of that, one of the true members of the RKM setup shop. That's Ryan Kuhn Motorsports setup shop. That's an iRacing little business that they have together, where they put some setups together for people and sell them, so that you don't suck at iRacing in some open setup races. And Jake Matheson very clearly good at what he does here in that 52 machine, breaking up into the top 3 and going to run down Dominic Currit here as his next goal.
Absolutely. And up at the front, Casey Beatty and Dominic Currit are trying to set sail here a little bit. They're going to encounter some lap traffic at the 58 of Tyler Conley. Casey Beatty all over the back bumper of the 58 car, just looking for room to go. Dominic Currit just trying to look for an opportunity to make his way around. Two drivers that are going to be racing together in ACT competition this year.
Again, it looks as though we're having a good green flag run here now as Casey Beatty, Dominic Carrot, Jake Matheson going to continue being our top three. Joey Israelson followed by Jizzbag himself, Ryan Borges in the top five. Again, Jake Matheson on the move, though, in the third spot, hunting down Dominic Carrot now. He wants that race lead.
Another driver that had some early troubles that's coming back up through the field, that's Devin Landry in the number 87 automobile. He's back up to sixth. He was an early race leader and your second fastest qualifier. While the top three, you could throw a blanket over them right now. There's some fast cars laying back in the back of the pack.
And laps are clicking off here as Tom, the modified guy, is going to give us some lap updates. As again, right now, battle is for second of Jake Matheson all over the back bumper of Dominic Carrot, who literally has just a couple days ago laps on this exact racetrack. So it's starting to make sense why a lot of these drivers are starting to kind of be the cream of the crop here so far. Dominic Carrot now going for the race lead as Beatty shows the bottom.
Beatty was into the fence earlier. Now Dominic Carrot is now moved to the inside. He's going to take away the top spot from Beatty. Beatty falls back into second, but Jake Matheson all over the deck lid, trying to move himself up to the second spot. Jake Matheson now to the inside as they work down the backstretch and into turn one. Dominic Carrot up the racetrack. Jake Matheson, your new leader as they come out of four.
Turn number four for the race lead. That's exactly what Jake Matheson wanted to see. Dominic Carrot just misses turn 3 and 4 and opens the door for Jake Matheson now up into the second spot. Top four you could throw under a blanket over the front stretch.
Jake Matheson, by far the quickest car on the racetrack right now, all over the back bumper of Dominic Carrot. He's going to move to his inside as they drive into turn 3. Matheson.
Side by side, up through turn 3 and 4. Pontiac Grand Prix to the inside. Chevrolet SS to the outside. Maybe it's a Toyota. I don't know. We got a 52 and a 5 side by side down the backstretch for the race lead.
Dominic Carrot holding strong on that outside, while the 52 slides up the racetrack, a little yellow flag on the speedway. What a battle we had for the lead. Looks like we've got caution, though.
What a show we have going on right now in the BFP Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. The story of the night so far is Preston DeMello coming through the LCQ and Jake Matheson as well, too, being the fastest car on the racetrack as he is now running second after leading early on, making a pit stop, and has fought his way back up into the top two, side by side with Dominic Carrot there for a very long time. A lot of good, hard, clean racing up front.
More pit stops here. Looks like Jake Matheson and the number 11 of Dominic Carrot are both going to come down pit road now. Devin T. Landry is going to move to the top spot with Ryan Borges, Gorgeous Borges, in the 24, going to move up to second. And where did he come from? Preston DeMello now showing third on the leaderboard.
DeMello. Do we know what lap it is?
Oh, Casey Beatty and Joey Israelson make contact. Israelson goes around, collects a host of other cars. Basically, if your number was 3, 4, and 5, you got a bad deal in that one. A lot of damage for those drivers. Joey Israelson, once again, driving that beautiful Dale Earnhardt tribute car. Tyler Jordan in the 4. And I don't even show a number 5 on my roster, so definitely a trading paints automobile with that one.
Yeah, that's something we're gonna have to definitely figure out here, and I think we're gonna have Tom give us more lap updates as the race progresses. We're at about lap 80 right now, just past halfway here in the Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. As we're now gonna cross the field up here, new race leaders Devin Landry, Ryan Borges, our new front row, followed by Mason Dunn and Casey Beatty and Reagan Parent are gonna round out our top 5.
Devin Landry, of course, of the Max Cookson crew. Max Cookson's pretty good at this iRacing stuff, too. Devin Landry is going to fire first, and he's going to have the lead as they work down the straightaway. Devin Landry with the lead. Ryan Borges tucks in right behind, and Mason Dunn and Casey Beatty working each other over for that 3rd and 4th spot.
Reagan Parent looking to the inside here as we got another yellow here on the raceway as again, cautions, precautions, folks. We've had a lot of good, hard green flag runs, but once you get one yellow, you bunch the field back up, and it just makes it prone for another yellow to come out thereafter.
Absolutely. And this is where the strategy is going to be key. So has Devin Landry taken tires? We assume no. But we assume that that's why Dominic Kurt came down pit road. That's why Jake Matheson came down pit road. What is the tire strategy here? That's going to be a very, very important piece to all of this as we move forward with still half of this race to go.
And the incredible thing about iRacing too is that everything is laser scanned. So this car is actually laser scanned from Junior Motorsports. This is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s late model stock car that we've all seen. It was the Sundrop car at the time, the number 3 car. And with that being said, all of these tracks are also all laser scanned. We're talking everything being within 1/10,000th of an inch. So the tire wear that you see in real life very much does play into a factor here on the iRacing sim side of it as well too. And tire games are certainly going to be played here in the 150.
Speaking of tire games, it looks like Devin Landry in the 87 has made a pit stop. That's going to give the lead to gorgeous Ryan Borges in that number 24 car. So very interesting to see how all these strategies are going to play out. Also, Casey Beattie and that number 39 back at it and going to be restarting on the outside of the front row.
Old Jizz in the 24, we like to call him. He's a go-kart phenom here around the New England areas. He's won, it seems as though, every go-kart race that there is to win, especially in the last handful of years here. Again, another one very, very talented on the iRacing side of things as well too. He's going to be our new race leader here, as I believe we're going to cross him up this time by.
Yeah, absolutely. Right before we crossed them up, you saw the number 58 of Tyler Conley get the lucky dog. That's going to put us 13 cars on the lead lap, and but we're still a long way from having this one decided. Yeah, Tom, the modified guy, he's got his hands in the air. Jake Matheson in that 52, he's already up to the 4th place spot, even after just pitting. Oh my God, restart! Ryan Borges goes around. Big wreck for the lead. Reagan Parent's involved. Ryan Borges on pit road. What a mess on this start.
Ryan Borges certainly with the
yellow was not
stick on that one, as no yellow on the raceway as the track is clear.
Oh boy, sounds like Charlie has gone away.
We've lost
so I guess
Charlie.
You're stuck with me here for a little bit. Casey Beattie has got the lead. Jake Matheson trying to run him down. Matheson in that 52 car has some fresher tires, and so doesn't Preston DeMillo right behind him in the number 28 car.
How about Preston DeMello? He looks like he's better into the corner, but Matheson's better off of the corner.
Matheson taking it a little easy into the corner while Preston DeMello driving it in deep. Two very different driving styles, but they both seem to be working as they're both closing in on Casey Beattie. Casey Beattie, again, an American-Canadian Tour driver that learned enough from iRacing to finish in the top 10 in both American-Canadian Tour races this week. Absolutely phenomenal with a young driver. Never seen the place, but somehow has taken a liking to it. And Casey seems to be liking it pretty well right now at the front of the Shamrock Shakedown 150. Beattie continues to lead with Matheson all over that bumper cover. Sitting, laying in wait is Preston DeMillo in the number 28 car. You got to move almost a second back to Sean Kimball in the 54, running 4th. Tevin T. Landry already up to the 5th place in that 87 after just pitting for tires that last caution. Absolutely nutty with all the strategies that are going on right now. But keep an eye on that number 87 car further back in the field, as he does have the freshest tires on the racetrack right now.
87 on the boards, but 40 on the racetrack for us.
For the 87 car is also the 40 on the racetrack on the stream. Apparently my Trade and Paints ain't updated as much, so I'm calling a different race than all you guys are seeing. But Devin Landry there in that 40 or 87, 40 car, I guess, on the stream is definitely moving forward in this one.
The
Casey
black
Beattie
and bronze 40
continues to lead here over Jake Matheson. Matheson looking to take a little bit of a higher line that time. Doesn't look like it worked. Beattie opens up half a car length as they work down the front straightaway.
Devin Landry just picked up another spot on the 54 here.
Devin Landry now has picked up another spot and moved into the 4th position as the camera focuses in on him. Now he's got some open racetrack to try to run down your top 3. Jake Matheson is moving up the racetrack a little bit. Is he saving tires? What is exactly going on?
We're hearing a little bit of feedback from Charlie Sanborn. I believe he joined on his phone. Muted him so he don't hear it on the stream. So he'll have to text me when we get his stuff back going. He said his computer restarted.
I've got some audio from myself talking in my ear as Charlie
As Jake
Sanborn
Matheson goes for the lead in the lap
You've
car.
got Jake Matheson going to the lead after troubles with the lap car. Jake Matheson up the racetrack. Casey Beatty trying to fight down on the bottom. Beatty now into the back bumper of Matheson a little bit as they work off a turn 4. Matheson has got the top spot. Beatty back to 2nd. Preston DeMillo sitting there in 3rd. And here comes Devin Landry in the bronze number 40. Trying to move up into the top 3 and get himself a podium like his driver Max Cookson did twice down at the Pro All-Star Series race at Hickory this past weekend.
We got somebody in the chat here, Scott Borges, asking what happened to Borges. Borges got run into by old Reggie Parent there on the restart.
Borges seems to have a little unhappiness with Regan Parent after that restart. But oh my God, here we are.
Here comes Devin
Landry up into the 3rd spot. It sounds like maybe Charlie Sanborn might be back with us now.
Let's see.
I was in the middle of just watching the race, calling it with you guys, and the computer just had a meltdown. So
welcome back,
if that's
Charlie.
the first thing that happens tonight, then we're doing just fine. Thanks for filling in there for a second, Tom. What lap are we on?
We are currently on lap 107.
107. Yeah.
Charlie, you missed a little drama on the restart here.
A lot of stuff going on here. Jake Matheson's got the lead, as you can see. Casey Beatty not letting him get too far away, though. In the fastest car on track with the freshest tires, that's Devin T. Landry in the 40 car. But here's Casey Beatty to the inside of Matheson for the lead. I don't know if we've got Charlie Sanborn or not. I gave a pause for him to fill in, but doesn't seem like he was there. Casey Beatty all over the back bumper of Jake Matheson.
We're gonna ride on board with Devin with Casey Beatty here.
Stream, that Pontiac is not getting off the corner as good as Casey Beatty. We get a slow car up top, and they are battling for the lead here. Beatty all over the back bumper of the 52, while Devin Landry is right there waiting to capitalize if either of them makes a mistake.
All right, folks, I am back.
Officially back.
And I am officially back. And Tom, I just need you to update us on the laps. And right now it looks as though we got a battle shaping up here with Jake Matheson for the lead in that beautiful Pontiac Grand Prix Black Flag podcast machine. As we got another one around here through turns 3 and 4. It looks as though yellow's going to come out here yet again.
You came back just in time for a yellow. The longest green flag run of the day, and your computer shut off on you. It's kind of like running out of gas in a pickup. Not that you know anything about that, right, Charlie?
Welcome to my life here, for sure. And looks as though we're going to be bringing this thing down to just a regular Saturday night feature to decide who's going to be the winner here at the Shamrock Showdown 150 at Hickory Motor Speedway. Again, putting this all on by the Black Flag Podcast here with myself, Scott Denon, Tom the Modified Guy, and you, Spencer Morse. So thank you to each and every one of you who have had a hand in putting this production on. It has not been an easy process. We had a big learning curve. And
attention, Charlie, I hate to interrupt you while you're giving me props, but Jake Matheson has just hit pit road again, giving Casey Beatty the lead. Continue. Sorry, brother.
The drama unfolding here is we're only going to have about 35 laps or so to go once we take the green here. Yet again, as it looks as though we're just trying to get the shield shaped back up the right way.
We're looking at the replay here, and it looks like Sean Boudreau having a little trouble with the lap car. I don't know what the 11 car's doing, but wrecking lead lap cars.
Yeah, little issue with the 11 and the 27, as you saw on the stream there. Definitely an interesting situation. Never good when a lap car gets involved with the leaders. Definitely an unfortunate situation.
As Tyler Connolly's going to pit and take some fresh tires to wreck some more lead lap cars.
Well, okay. All right, Tom.
Can we? I'm not sure. Is Tom coming across on the stream? Because
Right
if
now
so,
I
he's got
am.
the
Yes, he is.
hilarious
Yes, he is. And
commentary.
maybe we'll put a mute on that one more time. We'll get him back in the camera booth and hook
But
us up with some
now that
sick
you're
camera
back, Charlie,
angles.
I can click off and say goodbye.
All right. Say goodbye to the fans, Tom.
Goodbye, fans.
Tom the mod guy. Tom the modified guy, folks. He's an interesting character, but he's our interesting character, and certainly going to be one that you're going to want to watch his films that he puts on throughout the modified ranks here in the New England area. Looks as though we're going to try and get the field shape back up here through turns 1 and 2 and get everybody caught back up.
Yeah, I tell you, I know this is iRacing, but my nerves are still through the roof for whatever reason. Casey Beatty and Devin Landry are going to be leading the field to green as the pace car lights are out, and they're getting ready to work their ways through turns 3 and 4, Charlie.
Side by side through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is about to be in the air. Lab pedal is down in the number 39 machine, and they are racing down through turns 1 and 2.
Casey Beatty going to jump out to the early advantage with Devin Landry right on the back bumper. It's a lot of excitement further back in the field as you've got cars 2x2 from 5th on back.
We got racing all over the racetrack right now. Is Jake Matheson going to try and navigate his way back up through the field with the A car to his outside? He's going to try and break clear of some lap traffic there. As Dominic Carrett's going to hang on to his back bumper.
Dominic Carrett, he was an early race leader here. He came down pit road and just hasn't been able to make his way back up through as quickly as Landry or Jake Matheson seems to be doing right now. Casey Beatty's got the lead, but that bronze number 40 of Devin Landry is all over that back bumper. Devin Landry was a fast guy in iRacing at the Auburn Mall when I had my simulator there. It looks like he's going to try to get it done again with that number 40 as he looks to the inside of Beatty.
Beatty now trying to hang on to the little bit of an advantage that he has, but Reagan
Andrew
Parrott now...
the whole field wrecking. Oh my God, what did we just see? Devin T. Landry made contact with the front of the field with Casey Beatty, and everybody's involved. All of your leaders get tangled up in that one.
I am trying to get my my scoreboard right here as I've got Tyler Lerman in second, which I don't believe that is right.
That, I don't know. They just wrecked the whole field. It could be. Preston DeMello involved. Jake Matheson involved. I believe Trevor Kraus was involved. We've got so many wrecked race cars here. I tell you, if this was Oxford Plains Speedway, we would just let Billy Penfold open his new scrapyard right here, because that's how much junk we've got right here in Hickory Motor Speedway.
Billy would be all excited about that, I'm sure. He's one that I certainly wouldn't want to mess with on the racetrack or in life in general. But certainly good hard-nosed racing here as laps are winding down. Tom, what lap are we on here? We're at lap 123, folks. So we have 27 laps to go here as we're going to have just another, like I said, Saturday night feature here to close out the Shamrock Showdown 150. Looks as though Preston DeMello is going to be our new race leader. And folks, if you've been watching the storyline here throughout the evening, Preston DeMello missed it in qualifying, didn't make it in through the top 20 lock-in, didn't make it in through his heat race to get into the top 4. He did come down with a sparks flying photo finish for the LCQ to win that, and is now, after starting dead last in the field, has navigated his way through the entire field and is going to be our new race leader with about 20 laps to go. And Tom, we're going to need updates on those laps as they come through.
You're looking at some cars up front here that have been war beaten. You look at the right front fender on Devin Landry's car. That's got substantial damage. So doesn't Preston DeMello's car. It looks like something I just ran an Enduro with. All body panels are beat up, and those things are not driving the way that they were when this race started, and the lights are off on the pace car, so we're getting ready to go back at it for some more green flag racing.
So I don't think my scoreboard is right because I have Tyler Lerman in second. We're already 2x2 here. Preston DeMello followed by the 40 machine here to his outside. They're going to be side by side here through turns 3 and 4. Door handle to door handle. Pace car ducks off at pit road. DeMello with the loud pedal down and going as fast as he can through turns 1 and 2 as he separates himself from the rest of the field.
DeMello drove into the corner so hard, but Devin T. Landry, he rotated the center better. and they were stacked all the way up behind them. Great side-by-side racing back in the field while we watched the leader, Preston DeMello, qualified into the last chance, and now Devin T. Landry to the inside. Big move down the backstretch into 3. Devin T. Landry is your new leader in the 40 car.
20 laps to go this time by as we have a new race leader, but we also have a new third place driver, Reagan Parent, in that pink and blue 17 machine getting up into the top 3 as we have a big one through turns 3.
There's a car up on its side. Oh man, the Richard Moody Racing number 44 of Trevor Sanborn thinks that's a hard hit. The 47 car and Joey Israelson. I don't know what happened exactly with the 47 there, but just shoot. Trevor Kraus gets hit by a car on his outside. The 54 of Sean Kimball comes down. Trevor Kraus hits the inside wall, comes back up across the racetrack, hits Jake Matheson, and Joey Israelson in that 3 car gets collected as well. Huge impact. And if those guys have used all their fast repairs, they are in some kind of trouble.
And folks, we're on lap 133. We're only going to have about 15 laps to decide the winner of the inaugural Shamrock Showdown 150 here at Hickory Motor Speedway, put on by the Black Flag Podcast. And it's going to be just a good old-fashioned shootout, Spencer.
Absolutely. We've got 11 cars right now on the lead lap before the lucky dog is given out. So we might end up with 12 here. But if you're in that top 12 and your car is still moving forward, you've got a chance at this. This is going to be a heck of a battle coming down to the end with Devin Landry as your leader, Preston DeMello running second, Regan Parent in the 17 running third, Sean Kimball fourth, Jake Matheson fifth, Aiden Murray in the 72 running there in that 6th position. The 7th place runner is Ryan Borges. Tyler Conley follows him. Joey Israelson, even though he's got some damage, still running there on the lead lap. Trevor Kraus, Casey Beatty, and Mason Dunn round out your top 12 and the guys that you're going to want to keep an eye on that could potentially bring home the inaugural Shamrock Showdown 150 win.
I'm going to take your word for the correct lineup there, because I think once you move out of the server, once my computer crashed and I go back in, it freezes the lineup where I was at for the information screen. So I will for sure keep in mind what you have there and what you said. But it looks as though we're going to have about 14 laps to go here as we're going to try and determine the winner of the inaugural Shamrock Showdown 150 with Devin Landry, Preston DeMello, your front row as the pace car ducks down. We're in the restart box, loud pedals down, and we are racing.
Devin Landry with a huge jump down into turn 1. Reagan Parent and Preston DeMello going to battle door to door off of turn 2. Looks like Reagan Parent's got the spot for now as Preston DeMello just trying to hang tight on the top side.
Keep an eye on the 52 machine Pontiac Grand Prix Black Flag podcast of Jake Matheson. He's been one to watch all day long. Is he now for like the 5th time is back up into the top 3, trying to hunt down Reagan Parent and Preston DeMello for the win.
Preston DeMello, I believe, in that 28 car is falling like a rock. Got up into the 3rd groove and has dropped all the way back into the 8th position. Absolutely nutty to see the 28 car fall back that quickly. Oh man, we got one in the wall. I believe that's Joey Israelson. Joey Israelson in the 3 makes hard contact with the wall, but I think we're still green for now.
Green flag stays out on the raceway here as now we're going to have a battle for the lead. 10 laps to go here for the 40 of Devin Landry, Reagan Parent, and Jake Matheson. Top 3 under a blanket down through turns 3 and 4. And here comes the green machine coming up into the top 3 as well.
Reagan Parent with a big move to the inside of Devin Landry. They make contact working through turn 2 and down the backstretch. Parents to the inside as they drive through turns 3 and 4. Regan Parent with the preferred groove. Devin Landry working the top side with the yellow flag coming into the air.
And folks, that's going to probably bring us down to only maybe 3 or 4 laps to determine the winner here of this 150 lap inaugural event. For the Black Flag podcast, we have one heck of a showdown coming to you here as Reagan Parent and Jake Matheson on the late race move here. And Devin Landry certainly going to have to be on his toes here as we are going to have about a 4-lap showdown here to determine the winner at Hickory Motor Speedway.
Joey Israelson in that 3 car. Tough break for him as we're watching that on the broadcast. He obviously has been involved in a lot of wrecks, and you can just see that car catwalking before trying to get back to the pits before Tyler Learman makes a little bit of contact with him, slides him up the racetrack, and brings out that caution. Super unfortunate when it's a car that has had a bad day, that may or may not have changed the outcome of this one. Regan Parent was going to go to the lead, but now Devin T. Landry is shown as the leader. Oh, man. It looks like maybe Joey Israelson didn't just have a little bit of an issue. He might have had an issue with the 54 of Sean Kimball. As you can see that car crab walking down the backstretch, and then he just absolutely drives into the door of Sean Kimball in the 54.
Well,
Not what you want to see. I believe that's worth a 25-point deduction and like $50,000, right, Charlie?
Yeah, something like that. We'll have to go bring that driver in the trailer here and see what the eventual punishment will be. And I think that he's probably going to have to get a boot after that. And it looks as though he did get that. So, again, we're going to have the lights out on the pace car here. Back to business here up front. We've got the 40 of Devin Landry, main sim racing winner of the Oxford 250. To his outside, Reagan Parent, and then Jake Matheson. But keep an eye out for Ryan Borges in the 24 as well, too. Top 4 gonna hit the loud pedal here in just a second. Pace car is down, and Landry with the jump on the inside.
Devin Landry's restarts have been perfect all day, and that continues here. Devin Landry out with the early advantage, and Regan Parent trying to everything he can to run him back down. The top few have kind of settled out with Jake Matheson third, and is that Aiden Murray in the 72? Where did he come from? He's up into the 4th spot.
We are on lap 149 right now as the top 3 are going to try and beat it to the line here. Devin Landry up off of turn number 4, trying to win the Shamrock Showdown 150 with the white flag in the air. Reagan Parent now trying to stalk the back bumper of the number 40 machine. They're going to go down through turns 3 and 4. Pit Reagan now trying to get it through the carburetor. Can't quite make it work. Checkered flag in the air. Devin Landry, the winner of the inaugural BFP Shamrock Showdown 150.
Reagan Parent's going to come home second in the number 17 machine. The 52 of Jake Matheson's going to run third. Aiden Murray in the 72 will come home fourth. And gorgeous Ryan Borges in the 24 comes home fifth. Tyler Conley's sixth. Preston DeMello, Casey Beatty, Mason Dunn, and Sean Kimball round out your top 10. What a job by Devin Landry, Reagan Parent, and Jake Matheson on that top 3 as you're going to watch the 40 car try to do some victory donouts here on the front stretch.
And folks, those of you watching here on Facebook Live, again, right around the 60 mark of people watching, stay tuned as Tom the Modify guy is going to go try and retrieve our top 3 for some post-race interviews and see what these drivers have to say after the inaugural BFP event.
I tell you, Charlie, if every Tuesday night is going to be like that, I am going to need to get some voice lessons or something because I'm going to lose my voice watching this. What an unbelievable race. If you run that race 100 times, I'm not sure Devin Landry wins that every time. Regan Parent was a little bit better in my book coming up through.
I mean, you certainly make a point, Spencer, there. I'm going to go try and get our top 3 here and see if we can get ourselves an interview.
All right, Charlie's going to go try and find one of our top 3 here on Discord. New thing to me, Discord, but it's pretty neat when you get the opportunity to talk with so many friends from around the globe. I've got things beeping in my ear. I'm not sure if we've got anybody in here yet or not. Now, your third place finisher in the inaugural Shamrock Shakedown 150. It's Jake Matheson. Jake, you've run super late models. You've had podium finishes in that. I feel like this is going to rank up there, being in the third place finisher in the inaugural 150. I thought you had something there for him.
Yeah, I really thought I did too. I kind of messed up my strategy earlier by taking my quick repair at the wrong time, and I was stuck with one race car since about 100 laps, so I had to play it safe, had to play the strategy right, and we were in there. We were in position to win it there for a minute, and then got turned down the backstretch in that big 4 or 5 car pile up there at the end. But what you gonna do? Amazing race out front between Reagan and Devin. They raced clean. That was a real fun one to watch, and wish we were up there doing it, but you'll have that in the bigger jobs.
You sure will, Jake. So when did you exactly take tires? We saw you pit, and you drove through the field pretty quick. Was it about that midway point in the race when you decided to come down for the tires, or did you take it earlier and accidentally do the fast repair then as well?
So a lot of guys pit on lap, 49, I think it was, and I waited till lap 79 to take my tires, and I took one quick repair then because I had some right front damage from an earlier incident under yellow, and then let me think about it. I don't know, about 20, 30 laps after that, I came in to get tires again because I had pushed them hard, and then you just used it on accident, didn't unclick it. Simple as that. Just they have an auto fuel now in this update. They should really put it to the whatchamacallit.
Jake, I'm doing what I do at Oxford Plains Speedway. I've got my third place finisher way too long. We see you got Black Flag Podcast on your race car. Is there anybody else that you want to thank before you get 10 more words and then we're going on?
Thanking Tom for making the scheme. It looks sick. Bye, everybody.
That's your third place finisher, Jake Matheson. And Charlie, do you want to introduce our next podium finisher?
Yeah, it looks as though rounding out our top 2 here is going to be the number 17 machine. We call him Reggie, but that's going to be good for Ray Parent's kid, Reagan Parent. It looks as though you had something for him there at the end, but couldn't quite make it work. What did you need to pull off the win?
I needed to not have a yellow come out. I was passing Devin coming down the front stretch. I thought I was ahead of him at the time when it came out, but unfortunately they gave him the spot back, and he was able to get a good jump over me on the restart at the end and pull away. I tried all I could in 3 and 4 to get to him without blatantly wrecking him too bad, but I'll take a P2 in the second race now with you guys. All in all, I'd say
the first official race, we should say,
and
that's going to put you P2 in the standings for the Triple Crown as well too, and we're going to get some cool, probably cool trophies made up here for the rounding out of that in May, whenever that'll be. And who do you have to thank, though? I mean, this is the first event, and it wasn't a total shit show this time. So who do you have to thank for being here?
Yeah, RKM Setup Shop, PD Designs, Preston DeMello does all my paint schemes, does a great job. It's a beautiful looking race car. You guys, Black Flag Podcast, Spencer announcing it with you, doing a great job, of course. I know you guys are trying to do your best working here with Tom. I know how he can be sometimes, but just all you guys, everybody that tuned in and watched, I hope you guys enjoyed the eventful race, as I should call it anyway.
I just want to get one word in here before I let Charlie go ahead and interview our winner. Reagan, I thought that your move there on the last lap, you did absolutely everything that you could do without wrecking the guy. What makes you not drive through the guy on that last lap?
Well, typically, if I would have wrecked him, I know I would have been disqualified too, but I was just trying to drive it in as deep as I could without wrecking him. I thought maybe if I could move him up off the bottom, but I just couldn't get all the way to him in order to do that.
There it is. That's your second place finisher, the Regan Parent and the number 17. Charlie, are you going to catch up with our winner?
Yeah, it looks as though we have him in the Discord chat here. We got that figured out here on the fly. Man, you seem to be pretty good at this whole iRacing deal, moving on from the main sim racing series into our Black Flag Podcast iLate Model Stock Tour series as well, too. You won the inaugural event of the Shamrock Showdown here at Hickory Motor Speedway. This is going to be good for Devin Landry. Maybe.
He's working on it.
We have some technical difficulties here with our winner. He might have been muted there for a sec. Devin, do you have us?
Yeah, I'm here.
We hear.
All right. And so talk to us about that 150 lap race, man. I mean, you seemed to carve him up there early on, and you certainly had the piece to beat at the end.
Yeah, I definitely burned it up after I took tires trying to catch them. Yeah, you're gonna have to turn me up. My mic's not okay.
I turned you up.
Okay. Yeah, I just burned it up quite a bit. I really had a feeling Reagan was gonna do that into 3, so I kind of barreled it in myself. So.
So talk to us here about what makes you so good at iRacing. I mean, you work with the Max Cookson crew, and you work on that 39 car a little bit, and you seem to have something figured out here on the iRacing deal. Who do you have to thank?
I mean, just you guys for putting the show on. I mean, I don't really think I'm that good at iRacing, but I guess I am. Just everybody involved, my parents for letting me do it. I mean, I am 19, but still. Jonathan Platt for selling me these pedals for so cheap, and yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's the winner of the inaugural Black Flag Podcast Shamrock Showdown 150. And now your current point leader for the Triple Crown Series that we are going to have unfolding here throughout the entire rest of the season. Next up, we are going to have another race here. I believe that's going to be at Southern National Speedway for 100 laps a week from today on Tuesday nights. Welcome to BFP Day in America. Not only do you get the show release to listen to on your way to work, but after you're done with work, you get to come hop on your computer and play with us. So big shout out and thank you from me from the bottom of my heart. This was a pet project of mine with Scott Dinnan. Spencer Morth, you've tagged along as well too. Tom, the modified guy, doing a heck of a job with our BFB Sports One camera there, and everybody who joined out here. I think we filled all 64 spots in the server in under 2 minutes this week. So pretty impressive. We also had a full creature feature event as well too. We'll have to try to get some updates on that. And Spencer Morris, go ahead and sign us off.
So before I sign us off, Charlie, I don't know why I was calling you Bradley. I did have just a couple notes that I wanted to say. Pro All-Star Series, something that I love they used to have is your Hard Luck Award guys and your Hard Chargers. Hard Luck, Ryan Kuhn. Ended up 27th, 107 laps down after that incident while he was leading the show. And I just had to say Preston DeMello's name one more time. Guy from the Last Chance race drives up into the 7th position. I think those two guys are people that you're going to want to keep your eyes on for the rest of this Triple Crown Series and here every Tuesday night. As saying that, on behalf of me, Charlie, the Black Flag Podcast, Tom the Modified Guy, Scott Dinnan, and everybody that has been a part of this sheet show, thank you all for tuning in tonight on Facebook Live. We're going to be back at this every Tuesday night for the iLate Model BFP Racing Series. Keep an eye out. If you want to race in this, keep an eye on the socials. We'll get you a password so you can join in on the action. Thank you all for coming out. And this is Spencer Morris, Charlie Sanborn, and Tom the Modified Guy saying see ya next Tuesday.